Meat!
Hey guys and girls of Diablo 3, this is Starwind here, and today you're joining me in the Chamber of Suffering. Today's boss is going to be the Butcher, also known as the Flesh Carver. It was previously believed that the Butcher had been destroyed in the original game series, but this was incorrect. Cain was mistaken, and it turns out there are many Butcher demons in the Burning Hells. So even though we just destroyed one while freeing Tyrell in the original game series, there's still many more in the Burning Hells. The Butchers are stitched together from the parts of other demons to combine their strength, and wicked magic is used to give them life. So it turns out that they're actually a demon that's made, so there could be lots of them, we're not too sure. We're just going to go over the basic information that's available on the actual Butcher in Nightmare mode. So in Nightmare, he's a level 35 monster, so if you're 35 or above you should find this encounter pretty easy. He has hit points of 185,194, so quite a substantial amount compared to the normal version. And if you're in around level 35, you'll receive 4,500 experience points for this boss encounter. So he's 4 attacks that he uses. The first one is melee, which is pretty obvious, and the next 3 are Grappling Hook, which splits into 2 different variations, Frenzy and Smash. So his traits and resistances, he has no traits and no resistances for this encounter, so it's pretty easy going on that. And the Butcher uses an axe, but he doesn't use many axe-based attacks. He primarily does strength-based attacks, and not the axe-based attacks you'd imagine, even though he carries that axe. We're going to go over the floor. The floor is segmented and will light up and cause burn damage. You have to watch for this and keep on the move. On the right is it burning, and above is what it looks like before it burns. So, and there it is again on the right. You need to keep your eye out for that, because that will cause some severe damage. The 2 health wells. A health well regenerates itself after 30 seconds of being used, so you need to use them when you get below 75% of health. And then it'll regenerate every 30 seconds, so you can imagine every 15 you'll have a health well. So try and use them as much as you can to stay alive. The next thing we're going to go over are his abilities. So his first one is Smash. The Butcher's first attack is of little concern. Avoid it when possible, you just need to be out of enough range, out of enough of his range to actually avoid it. The swing is prefaced with a series of hops, and so it's easy to step aside, so it is. You'll be able to see it pretty easily. There it is there. The next thing we're going to go over is the Grappling Hook. It's used in 2 different variations, so it is. The first one is when he launches a heavy Grappling Hook, and it will pull you into melee range. Also, it leaves you stunned for several seconds, so you need to avoid that as best as possible. His main attack is Frenzy. It's the Butcher's most fearsome attack, but it's also how you're going to use the Butcher's own attacks against him to kill him, so it is. So when you're on the move and far enough away from him, he'll go into a frenzy, and this causes him to rear back. You'll see him rearing back, and then he'll glow a bright orange colour. So once he does that, he sprints across the room, and if you're in very close range, you'll be knocked back. If the Butcher sprints across the room trying to trample you, once you dodge this, he runs headfirst into the wall. And this will leave him stunned for several seconds, and this is when you really want to get him. So that's your real opportunity that's going to be available to you to attack him. So your basic strategy, you'll want to get in and do damage, and you want to get out before he can attack you with any one of them 3 main attacks. You want to also avoid the floor, but if you are avoiding the floor, try and keep so far away that it causes him to go into frenzy. Stay perpendicular to the boss and the area of trample, and once you do this, he'll hit the wall and then destroy him when he's hit that wall. That's the best way to do it. If you get trapped, you do need to run in the fire. I advise just do it, because it'll enable you to get away from him. If you get trapped in a corner, he'll do some severe melee damage to you. Don't allow that to happen. As I said, do use the wells as much as you can. You have about 15 seconds to use a well, once you use both of them within their 30-second period, so you should be fine with that, and that should help you take him down. At the end here, I let him hook me in, just so I can be pulled back into melee range, and I attack him again, so... And I avoided the floor there as well. So it's important just to take him down as quickly as possible. And that's the whole tactics of the fight. I hope you enjoyed. We'll be back with more Monster Nightmare information. So till then, have a good one guys. Enjoy Diablo 3.